Good night, my little prince. There's a lot to catch up on. Log number 3855. The days turned into weeks. The weeks turned into months. Time passed, as much as it can here, and no matter how far and how much I looked, I couldn't find Christine anywhere. Her room was barren. No one had seen her. The void was empty. I guess I should have known after all this time that she'd been missing from the very beginning.
My head. What's wrong with me? I haven't been able to see straight for days. Weeks. How many games has it been? Maybe if I lie down, I'll feel better.
Knock, knock.
What the hell?
So, I see that we have a bit of a problem on our hands. Wouldn't you agree? An expected problem, yes, but a problem nonetheless.
Problem? The problem is you appeared in my room and I have no idea who or what you even are.
Interesting that you should say that, my dear Christine. You've mentioned a problem, but the problem is you. You're running behind schedule. Actually, you're due to leave weeks ago. Hours from now. And yet, you've already left.
Leave? That's a joke, right? If you haven't noticed, I'm trapped. We've been trapped. All of us.
Well, you see, being trapped is the issue. You won. You got what was promised to you. Your story is complete, is it not?
I don't know anymore.
I think you do. Haven't you noticed the ache in your jaw as if you've been chewing on tinfoil? Or the weight in your chest where you can't breathe? You've known for a while now. You don't belong here.
So, what you're saying is that it's over? Just like that?
Just like that?
Wait, that doesn't seem right. There are people here who have been here a lot longer than I have.
Time is relative. Tell me, how long have you been here? Your last game was mere seconds ago, correct?
Yes, no, I've been sitting in this room for... Wait, what? What the hell? Where's my room?
This is what your room has always been, Christine. I just took away the props.
What are you?
I'm the being who's helping you, Christine. Isn't that enough? The fact of the matter is, your strings are long overdue to be cut, and the one holding the shears hasn't done so yet. It's time for you to be set free. Once, you had many futures, possibility after possibility, but once you made your wish, there was only one outcome. Your thread is due to be woven back into... well... I suppose it's pointless to explain all that. You wouldn't understand it, and they won't either. You won't remember this at all, actually. So this is all for their benefit, technically.
Whose benefit? What are you talking about?
You will have gotten exactly what you wanted. When you return home, you will know one thing for certain. You killed the one responsible. You got your revenge by your own hands. You'll be able to feel the heat on your face as you watch your house burn, and the satisfaction will rest in your stomach like a lead weight. The body of the killer will rise to the sky as ash and cinder, and consecrate the firmament with your wrath. Overcome with guilt, once the police arrive, you will tearfully confess your crime. Your statement will be taken. You will be questioned. You will overhear the prosecutor and your attorney speaking in hushed tones about how no jury would ever convict you, a wife acting in self-defense and protecting her family. Perhaps you will feel guilt. Guilt at the death, guilt at your survival, guilt at the feelings of your own satisfaction. You'll check yourself into an institution, and you will slowly begin to process and to heal. As time passes, the memory of the games and this place will fade. It becomes harder to remember and easier to forget. The people you met will become faces blurred by the haze of time. Their voices will be lost to your memory. The relationships you built with them and the decisions you made will ebb into the background hum of your life. Your feelings will burn just as bright, though. Everything in your life burns bright, doesn't it, Christine? Eventually, though, you will move on. You will forget the names of those you met here. You will forget the bonds you forged with these lost souls. You will even forget the compassion you felt for the Grace Killer. Years will pass. You will build a life. And every once in a while, you will wake from a dream you cannot remember and feel tears on your pillow, and you will not be able to recall the reason for them.
How am I supposed to be satisfied with that? I'm losing everything from this hellhole? And for what? Some empty satisfaction I'll only find at night when I'll never remember it again?
You can't take anything with you when you leave, Christine.
But this place took everything away from me!
Only what you gave it. It's all right, Christine. She's kept you here too long. It's time to go home.
And what about everyone else?
They haven't met their win condition yet.
Excuse me? Win condition?
You're a smart woman, Christine. I'm sure you've realized there is more than one game at play here.
And at the end it won't matter for anyone? All that they've been fighting to win back is going to be nothing at all once they're out?
You're functioning under the assumption that they will win.
Of course they'll win. They'll have to eventually. Even when we've lost all those games before, and it all goes back to a different zero, someone always tries to win.
Exactly. And the house always wins.
No, the house always cheats. This is a house of horror, where most of us were tricked, ensnared, or manipulated into it. The odds were never in our favor to start with. But that gives all the more reason to fight against such a messed up system. And believe me, they will.
Are you done?
You know what? No, I'm not. That's not even a game if they don't have a fair chance through to the end. All of this looking down on us and thinking that we're only failures and are nothing more than pawns in this. You have no fucking right to just decide what we are.
There are no decisions to be made. I know what you are. I know what you were. I know what you will be. There is now only one Christine Forks, and eventually, your thread, and all threads, will be cut.
You don't know anything about...
You got all that, right? Excellent. Now, I have some more business to take care of, so you all sit tight and wait for the main attraction. After all, what else can you do?
I should have known. I should have guessed by now. Of course, someone had taken her. She couldn't have just wandered off. There was nowhere to go where I wouldn't have found her. She was gone. The culprit? Aletheus, a fellow Black Star. They had taken Christine to even the playing field, bringing the souls down to 10. But it wasn't just her they took, and they had a lot of explaining to do.
So,
Hi!
Aletheus!
Nice to see you're doing well.
What are you doing here?
Oh, you're welcome, by the way. I fixed it.
Fixed what?
I think you know exactly what I fixed.
Okay, first of all, I don't need anything fixed. I have been spending quite a bit of time making sure everything is in their place, characters are where they need to be, and Wait a minute. Were you... You wouldn't happen to know where Christine Forks is, would you?
Come now. You really have to ask a question like that?
I mean, yes, that is something I would like a clarification on. You see, she was a pawn of mine, and I needed her, so I cannot help but be a little annoyed that you've taken her from my game. Why? Why did you do that? I needed her.
I think you know exactly why. Listen, not only were they left here to fester, but you were over quota anyway.
Excuse me?
Fine. I'll explain it for their benefit. The game calls for 10, and you had 12.
I know the rules, Revealer. I do not need you to go clarifying these things for me.
Alright then, you know the rules, so please, explain it to me. Explain why. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, so why were they still here?
Well, you know that... Well, I had 12 stories and they were all very interesting, and, you know, audiences love interesting things and drama, and I just, you know, I have trouble editing down. I'm not the best editor, as it turns out.
Not the best editor, Stardust. You are the editor.
That's not, well,
But, you know, I don't think that's it at all. I know the problem is that, well, you got too attached.
What? No, I didn't. Listen, I'll admit Christine's story had a certain draw to it. I mean, she was so passionate. You know how fascinating human emotions can be. I couldn't help but fixate on her. But then she spat on my face, and that was it. So I let her sulk in her room like she wanted. I wasn't... It's not like I cared anymore. I just needed her to...
But it's not only about Christine, though, is it?
What? No. What are you even talking about? I have no idea what you mean.
Do you really want me to start going into detail? Because trust me, the details were very apparent.
We really need
I may have turned a blind eye, but you of all people should know that I chose to do so. I am possibility given breath. I am the revealer of every thread, and the weave of every life is laid bare before me. Everything is an open book to me, Stardust. Even what happens here. Even you. So how about we both spare each other the pretenses and just tell the truth? That's what they want most of all, isn't it? So, let's start at the beginning. You pick up a certain human. Let's call him Francis. That was his name, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So once upon a time, this Francis meets Lady in Red. She was a vision, the most beautiful creature he'd ever seen in his life. Immediately his heart shuddered, and immediately he knew that he had but one wish deep inside his soul. So he falls to his knees, and he wishes to be with her forever. And of course, the Lady in Red obliges. She takes him by the hand, and with a whisper, she grants his wish. And with that wish comes everything else. Everything else that she was happy to give him and take from him, putting all the inevitable consequences aside.
Consequences? What are you talking about? Listen, I had to grant his wish. I thought it would be interesting. I'd never written a romance before, and he was the perfect lead for it. Plus, no one had ever wanted me like that before. So, he let me swallow up his last name. He gave me his everything. And of course, I played his Scarlet in return. If he wished to be in the Void forever, then I had to keep him in the Void forever. I was just doing my job.
Just doing your job? And doing your job entails playing house with a human for how long exactly? And then falling in love on top of that?
I was not playing house. I didn't fall in love with him. That's not what happened.
Oh, so what was it then?
I was granting a wish. He wanted a romance, so I gave him one. I gave him sunset walks in cities and planets. I wove a tapestry over a millennia. I am telling a story, and you—
No, you weren't. You both got too close. And then when he got too close to you, you panicked. You shut down. You just put him on the shelf like some kind of cast-off toy.
That's none of your business. I'm gonna finish the story eventually, okay? He'll get off of the shelf. It's not like I can just remove him. That would have been denying him his wish, right?
You were denying him his wish by keeping him here. I had no choice but to give him his only logical ending.
Logical ending? What are you talking about? His ending was supposed to be here, in the games. He wasn't— You took him too. You took Francis. What did you do to him?
What did you do to him? The Void is a monkey's paw. You knew that, but you brought him here anyways, even though you know it's impossible to— In bringing him here, you sealed his fate. The only way he could be with you forever was to go back and seek you again on his own terms.
The fuck do you mean, seek me again?
The only way that humans know how to worship you. The ultimate way that humans worship. He sought out your altar, and he threw himself upon it. And, well, he was left. He was left to seek you in the only way he knew how. He craved the glimpse of togetherness, and eventually he got it. He's yours forever now.
I didn't want that.
Oh. It's alright, Stardust. He did it because it was the only way he had left to love you. This is what happens, you know, when you cling so desperately to humanity. It hurts. It's painful. It feels like your skin doesn't fit anymore. You don't have to feel like this anymore. You're more than them. You always have been. Every step you've taken has brought you to here, and all that's left for you to do is to make that choice. So, what's your name?
I don't have one yet.
There's no more waiting. There are no more excuses. I can only protect you from this inevitability for so long. It's time. This is what you've always wanted. This has always been your wish. Why do you refuse to take your just reward?
I can't.
You can't? What are you waiting for? This is how stories work, don't they? Characters grow, people change, the plots, they move on.
Yes, you're right. I still have a job to do. Some loose ends, some loose threads. You know, you're right. I got a little too attached to some souls, but that means I still have some stories to complete, right? And unfortunately, that means ending now would be satisfying.
Well, alright, Stardust, I'm convinced. You may not want to disappoint them, but don't forget, You have more than one audience.
I don't need you to remind me of... Fuck. Right. It's gonna be okay. Everything is under control. I've got this. I've got this. Christine is living her life. Francis... well, that's another story. He wished to be with me forever, and so he got that wish the only way he could have, by seeking out the cult of the Black Stars and letting himself be sacrificed in my name. It's not... guts. He loved me, and it doesn't matter how I felt. I just thought if I kept him here, maybe I could make things different. But he loved me so much, and I just don't deserve to be loved. Not like that. But he still... it was just so complicated. And I just wanted... I should have known better. What's done is done. I had to move on, so I put on a happy face and got back to work. It had been so long, and there were games to run. The Awakened had managed to keep themselves entertained, what with all the baking, the books, and the copious amounts of alcohol. But break time was over, and it was time to begin.
I suppose we're all gathered and ready for our book club. Does everyone have their books? Okay, I really hope you all have your books because this is my first... well, I feel like I'm really trying to do a great job. Okay. The topic of our book club today was one I found quite interesting. Something from my time. A high fantasy. Ooh, exhilarating. I hope you found it as exhilarating as I did. It was a high fantasy. The metals that once made up our armor and weapons, you know, iron, it's on the walls, and it glistens, fake lights, like magic almost, but not magic, something else. It shines with an unsettling blue glow, and to me the most fascinating part of the fantasy is the adventures. We leave home to go beyond the sky, and we meet monsters from other dimensions. Oh, could you imagine? Oh, well, actually, I suppose that's more possible with the knowledge of the Black Stars. But still, it's quite exhilarating. Did you all read it? I hope you read it. What did you think?
Golly, I never thought I'd actually see something so gorgeous as something like this in one of them books. This is fantastic, Valencia.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you think so. I just love the stars lining the sky and the way those strange tentacled creatures seem to swim around, and it's just beautiful. I love high fantasy.
I actually thought I'd tried my hand at drawing one of those things. Here, take a look. What do you think?
Oh, it's gorgeous. I love the composition. It's flowing. I could just reach out and touch it.
Oh gosh, thank you kindly. Oh, what about you, Junior? What did you think of it?
What? I'm sorry. Get in the business.
Junior.
What?
Look.
What? Geez. Okay, sorry. I was busy. I was, baking as usual. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. Your baking's very nice.
Oh, thank you. Just been getting a lot of practice in. Hey,
Didn't you bake those same things yesterday?
Yeah.
And the day before?
Well, they were cinnamon the day before.
Junior, I think you might have a problem.
Listen, it's comforting and it's nice work to do. Hey, Grace. Grace, do you want a biscuit?
Oh, are these your American scones again?
Well, in America we call them biscuits, but yeah.
Oh well, maybe later. I'm busy.
Are you still taking notes?
No, I'm just amending my old ones.
So, like extra notes?
Yes, extra notes, but I'm busy.
Oh, okay.
Is it notes about the book, perchance?
No, it's not notes about the book. It's nothing.
Then what could you possibly be taking notes on?
just, things of interest. Look, I'm not in the mood for books right now. Tell me, books are your thing. Why don't you do it?
I mean, I could, but it's the standard sci-fi stuff. It's not anything new, really. I mean, I'm enjoying it about as much as the Doc normally does. And I mean, Doc, you don't care about these books too much, do ya?
I can speak for myself, Mr. Gwendolyn. And I happen to find this very entertaining, thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, Mr. Gwendolyn, I beg your pardon, Princess. Fantasy novels are very interesting to me. Besides, we've been here for how long now? With nothing but the lounge? What else are we going to do? I might as well enjoy reading.
I can't say for certain.
Although, now that I think about it, speaking of being here for ages, Mr. Reed's a glass empty again? I'll go pour him another one. There you go. You ready to join the rest of us, Mr. Reed? No. Well, that's the first word you've said in a while. I'll call that progress.
Exactly, it is a while around here anyway. It honestly feels like we've been here for quite some time. Forever, even.
Well, I'd say, it's actually been... here we go. 4 months, about 3 days and 6 hours. So, I mean, I would go into minutes, but frankly, I don't have the time.
What part of time is not real here do you people not understand? Like, I've said it to you so many times now, and yet you're still, like, there aren't any— how are you keeping time? There aren't any clocks.
Call it a lucky guess.
I mean, I'm proud of you. You're wrong, but I'm proud of you. Anyway, what are you guys all sitting around for? Like, oh, wait, Junior, what? Are those biscuits? Can I have one?
Yeah, no, of course, yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Just take one.
Pretty good.
Thank
Anyway.
you.
I stand corrected.
Why are we all standing here? We have a show to put on!
You know, most of us are actually sitting.
Excuse me, why are we all sitting here? Thank you, my dear pedantic princess. How I've missed you.
Why are we still here anyways? I mean, what show? What do we have to put on? There's nothing going on. The games are done, aren't they?
Oh, Tommy, you and your poor mortal mind. Okay, so I guess I should explain. So, when you say game, you think you're talking about, I guess you probably mean like the meta game between Vinny and I. Yeah, that's over. You all lost. Hi, Vinny, by the way. How you doing? Ah! Oh, alright. Well, I mean, it was... See, we're throwing bottles now, but, you know, you missed, so fine. But anyway, the game between Vinny and I is over. But, you know, we do still have those good old murder games to go over. You see, the metagame, that's over. But the show is forever. We do still have an audience, after all, and I would hate to disappoint them. So, since we have an audience, I think it's time to get a game going. And with that in mind, Thorin, sweetie, why don't you come on out here? We're gonna play a game.
Are you sure it's okay for me to come out now?
Yes, absolutely. Come on. Come and meet all of our friends.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi, Thorin. Everyone say hello to Thorin.
Hey, Thorin.
Hello, child.
Another drink, Mr. Reed?
Could we not pour the alcohol while the child is out?
No. Sorry, I can't hear you pouring alcohol.
That doesn't seem very couth.
What? He's going to learn about it one day.
You know what? He's fine.
Might as well be
He's fine.
today.
I mean, listen, Thorin is alcohol. You've seen the bubbly water, right?
Yeah, my mom and papa used to drink it.
Exactly. He's 8, guys. Come on. All right.
What was that? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. There we go.
Okay, well, you can keep being a smartass all you want. It doesn't change the fact that we have a game to play. So with that in mind, Thorin, what sort of game would you like to play? We can play whatever you want.
Whatever I want?
Whatever you want.
Do you guys like pretend?
They love pretend. Thorin was so good at bringing the Sparkle Forest to life, along with all the beautiful sparkle animals to populate it. He makes me so proud. The Awakened blossomed in their new animal forms, along with an Arctic wolf to accompany them, and DDD and Squibble. Again. I need to sort those two out soon. The psycho animals bonded together to rebuild the big brain mech, set on destroying the whole forest. But with Thorin leading, everybody worked together to take down the dastardly duo, throwing story points and sandwiches everywhere. The sandwiches were a little weird, but still, the good guys won. Moving on. After a job well done, I sent Thorin away as we moved on to the escape room. Escape from Clown Town. The clown theme was, of course, used to take away the edge from all the blood and death that was about to occur. With only 6 awakened, though, I had to drag in some randos from the spare escape room to fill the gaps. There was a weird poet, and a kid who kept knocking on the walls to speak to his friends. I think he said they were from Internet Remix or something. I don't know what that was about. And what do you know, Stephen Cutter also showed up to play. Oh, I have certainly missed him. Finally, there was good old Ian Martins. It took a very long while to warm him up so he would take part, but even then it was excuse after excuse for why he didn't want to play, how he didn't belong there, etc., etc. I wasn't having that. It was against his role. He was the assassin. With one correct shot, he could take down the commander and steal the victory that the good side had obtained. But he wouldn't do it. More excuses, more panicking, not to mention Vincent poking his head in where he wasn't wanted. And with that, round 3 began.
Ian! Good old Ian.
Well, Ian, what the fuck, dude? I thought you wanted to get out. You were trying to, sabotage us?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to sabotage anything. I don't know how all this works. I don't want to play this.
Let me explain to you how this works, Mr. Martins. There's one final part of this game, and that is the role of the assassin. So here's the deal. You are the assassin, Mr. Martins. And someone in this little group, they are, I guess the word for in the case of this game would be the puzzle master. They were aware of your various misdeeds. And if you find them and kill them, then you, the bad guys, those of you who are bad at puzzles but good at killing, you win. So, with that in mind, Mr. Martins, who would you like to kill?
Damn it. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna kill anyone.
Well, that's really too bad, Mr. Martins. See, this is your job.
Fortunately, how it works.
Hey, Ian, you want to get out of here, right?
I've
Right?
died so many times. I've been party to so many other deaths, only to be brought back and not remember any of it.
Oh, Ian, come on. Listen, let's just focus on what's in front of you. You remember everything that's happened thus far. I'm sure you can pick out who you need to kill. I just need you to give me a name, Mr. Martins.
This isn't a game. What are you talking about? These are people's lives. Where are we?
All aimed at her.
Where's Dev?
What? Dev? Who are you talking about? There is no Dev. Ian, just fucking kill someone, alright? Do your job. Get on with it. Play your part. I don't have time for you to do this, okay? I have a quota to hit.
Not my name.
What are you talking about?
Ian's not my name.
What? That's... Shut up. Ian Martins is your name. It's your name. It's not time yet. Listen, it wasn't supposed to happen yet. I needed more time. You can't.
No. My name is Hugo Hernandez. And I'm not playing your game anymore.
I'm sorry, what? No. That's not what's no, you can't. You can't just... What? You're making this up, right? Ian? Wait, what are you... Don't laugh!
No, it's funny. It is.
Would I tell you, Grace?
Yes.
This is fucking hilarious. I don't know what you did. I really don't. I thought the game was over.
It is! It's over!
Maybe, but maybe it wasn't a game to begin with. Whatever is going on, I don't care. I'm sorry, sir. What was your name again?
Hugo.
Vincent. Nice to meet you. You have just made me so fucking happy.
No, listen, you can't do that. This wasn't supposed to happen for...
Yeah, well, it did.
Clearly.
Welcome to the team, Hugo.
Happy to have you on board.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Yeah, you too. All of you.
Oh, how nice. How nice to see that you've all met. Congratulations, there's another character. Wow, what a good time. Everyone's having such a good time. Listen, it's not this, it's different, okay? It's different. Listen, okay. So a person's awake. That's cool. That's fine. That's fine. This is fine. Listen. I'm glad that you're feeling happy. I'm sure you needed this win, right? You needed this win. But it's fine. Thorin's still with me. You don't have enough souls. You know what? This is fine. It's fine. You know what? I'll just, you all go back to the lounge, okay? You all go...
No, actually.
What?
I want to say one thing before we do, because I know you're going to do the same thing you do every single fucking time something goes wrong for you, and you're going to snap us away.
Go on, Vincent. I'd love to hear it.
What this seems like to me is whatever world that you are keeping going, whatever this all is falling apart.
Fuck you.
And I...
No.
And you didn't plan on it.
That's not true. That's not true. You're making... That's not fucking... Get out! You know what? Just fuck it. Go back to the lounge. Get out! Go! Okay. This is fine. I'll have to adjust the outline a bit, but I can handle round 3. Change up the framing device. Try some new things. Yeah. It's gonna be okay. Everything is under control. I've got this.